Well, hello and welcome back to another episode of DTH Reviews. We haven't introduced ourselves for quite a few episodes, so quickly I'll say my name is Joe.
And I'm Jameson.
And before we get into our next review, I just quickly wanted to say a thank you to the people who have supported us over this last, it's nearly a month now. We knew we were going to get a bit of stick from people who desperately wanted Mythbusters, and obviously we weren't that. But a lot of you were open-minded, and you gave us a chance, and you've shown us love, and it's been nice. So we've been happy to be here. Mythbusters is coming back, and we're going to be alongside it. So I hope you guys look forward to that. So and today we are doing Rayman Legends. Do you want to start off, Jameson? Because you've been talking about this for a while, and you've been very, very excited.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, take it away. Does it live up to your hype? Because I know hype can damage games. So what do you think?
Yes, it definitely does live up. It's Origins was really, really good, and Origins sort of came out of nowhere because I hadn't played any of the Rayman games, and Origins was fantastic. And then they said they were going to make Legends, or they were making another one, and it was originally a Wii U exclusive. And I was sort of like, okay, well,
they could have really done with that, couldn't they?
I might have bought a Wii U to play this game.
Yeah, that would have helped a little bit.
But then, like a week later, they said, no, we're just kidding. It's not just a Wii U exclusive. It's coming out on everything.
What a joke.
And so I said, okay, great. I don't have to buy a Wii U. Oh, and Rayman Legends is so good.
Probably one of the most smooth platformers I've played in a long time. I think the platformer genre has kind of not died out, but it's been... If you think back to, like, the PlayStation days, it was really the dominant genre, probably just because it was easy to program, and then FPS came along and kind of pushed it down. So, you know, I started out on platformers like Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, etc. So, I'm happy that, you know, there's some really high budget and high-end platforms coming out, and that hopefully people are playing it, and people are responding to it well.
Yeah, most platformers nowadays are just like small indie games.
Yeah,
you know, there hasn't really been like any big $60 2D platformers this generation, like at all. And Rayman Legends is pretty much the only other one aside after Origins, you know. So, and yeah, it's a really it plays really, really well.
Yeah, it needs to be commended on how well developed it is and how clean it is. And I think, like we were talking about, because I watched a few reviews and people were like, it's not really frustrating, it's always satisfying. But no, I was getting frustrated. I was getting teeth-grittingly frustrated.
The foulest of insults come out of my mouth when playing that game, and it's not directed at the game; it's directed at myself, because it's
exactly.
It's really, it is not very hard, but there are some moments. There are, like in the last couple hours, there are some extremely challenging little bits. And they're only challenging because you suck at video games, and by you I mean me.
Exactly what I was just about
terrible.
to say.
Yeah, and oh man, not frustrating. Whoever said it's not frustrating is like the most zen human being on planet Earth.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to you as I was playing it, and it's exactly what you said. You're not angry at the game. You're angry at yourself for being shit, basically. You get so frustrated at yourself.
You wouldn't think that you were capable of saying such horrible things, but especially in front of such a lovable game like this, there are some. Oh man, there are some really hard parts of that game. Not as hard as Origins though. It's not as hard as Origins. Like Origins was extremely difficult. Sort of like from the halfway mark onwards, it got really tough and just got harder as the game went on. Whereas this, it feels a bit more like a steady incline up to the last sort of few levels, which are really tough, except for the boss fight. The final boss fight, really easy.
But yeah, it's always satisfyingly difficult. As I said, you never get frustrated at the game. You never feel cheated. You never feel like it's being too cheap. You just feel like sometimes you get impatient and you're rushing in. It's your fault. So they did a really good job of balancing these different gameplay mechanics, which we're just going to quickly go into. Like, I don't want to spoil too many. You'll probably see some clips, but each world is kind of split up into different elements that kind of vary the game and make each level feel different. But there's even some, like, it's kind of reminded me of Super Mario Galaxy in the way where each couple of levels they introduce a new gameplay element that could almost be its own little indie game. So, like, I don't know what the word for it is. So defined and so original. Like that one level where you on the cake level when you were you had to form. You almost were forming the layer in like a puzzle platformer-esque. That was probably one of my favourite. I'm pretty sure that was new. I don't think that was in Origins. If I'm right.
There's really good variety in all the worlds and within the levels of each world of new little gameplay tweaks and new things that they introduce constantly throughout the game. Yeah.
So I think like combining what I just said, I think the way they balance the difficulty and they balance the variations of gameplay, it's a really, really well-paced game, and it's certainly you always want to come back for more. Like I was playing it at home and I had to I had to cut it off at night, and then I was just like sitting there just twitching my thumbs like, I could really, really play like another 5 hours of this.
We should mention the music, especially the music levels. Like each world ends with a music level, and in between there is some really, really good music in between in the main levels. But the music levels are probably the best part of that whole game. I think it's just
definitely the best new addition to the game. Do you want to talk about the length? Because it wasn't as long as Origins, was it?
Yeah, there were only five main worlds? 5. Whereas Origins had like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely shorter. And
what did you think about the fact that you could unlock levels of Origins in Legends?
I think that's pretty cool that they put seemingly maybe not all of Origins back into Legends, but almost all of Origins is in Legends, and
there's a lot of it. Yeah.
And that's cool. That makes it even more compelling to buy. Like, just go buy Rayman Legends and you get basically Rayman Origins included for free. It's.
But I feel cheated. I feel like people who weren't as dedicated to the series, who didn't play Origins, if they pick up Legends now, they're getting more for their money than I am, if that makes sense. And I know maybe that's a negative way to look at it. I mean, you should probably just be happy that you've got 2 games in one, but I did enjoy it. I went back and I played about 4 or 5, but people who didn't play Origins, they're getting a lot more for their money than we are.
Yeah, definitely. If you haven't played Origins, you should really get Legends, because there's a lot of stuff in it. But I do think it is definitely shorter, but there's so much more variety in the levels in Legends that it feels sort of on par with Origins. Like Origins, each world or each level inside of each world all sort of felt exactly the same. Like all the desert levels looked the same, played the same, and all the snow levels looked and played the same. Whereas in Legends, they do a good job of mixing up what you're doing in the levels, between like the little helpy Murphy flying guy where you press the buttons to unlock or change the level as you're flying through it, or the little extra mechanics, or just like the visuals. Even the visuals of the level are so much more varied in each world as opposed to Origins. So I don't know, it's definitely shorter, but there's so much stuff in Legends that it doesn't really feel like a lesser package.
Yeah, true. One thing we haven't talked about is the amount of unlockables that are available in the game. I like the new addition of the scratch cards. That was something I didn't know, and even though it wasn't like a gameplay element, but there was something strangely addictive about scratching those cards out and getting a random award.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, there's like the 5 main worlds, and then inside of each of those worlds, as you go through the game, you get more levels with invasion levels, which are like the super hard sort of time trial-esque levels. And then there's the daily and weekly challenges that are new things all the time. And then there's Kung Foot, and then there's all of Rayman Origins as well. Like there's a ton of stuff in Legends, and it's, I don't know, if you haven't played Origins, you should really buy Legends.
The replayability factor is pretty damn high in Legends. There's a lot of collectibles. The weekly and daily challenges are fantastic. I mean, you're the only person who had on my Xbox Live friend list who was playing it.
Yeah.
But it was still this incentive, as you were playing, it would scroll up with your gamer tag saying you've overtaken me. And I would have to leave what I was doing, truck over back to the challenges and sit there gritting my teeth for half an hour like, this can't happen, this can't happen.
Yeah, it's a shame that more people haven't bought it so far, because I would love to have more people on my friends list to compete against, but that's okay, you know. Origins didn't sell like hotcakes, but it really should have, and so should Legends.
Yeah, definitely. It deserves to.
Everyone should play it just for the Ocean's 12 reference.
Do you want to quickly mention that it's only local co-op? I think that is.
Yeah, that's a real bummer.
It's a bit. Because like I did play some local. I played it with my sister when I was at home, and she'd never played it and she enjoyed it. And now I've moved back to university. I was playing it yesterday with some of my housemates, and it's just an absolute laugh local. But it just seems strange that they would take away the ability to play it, you know, over the internet.
It seems strange, but it also, you know, I know it takes a lot of extra work to add in Xbox Live multiplayer. Like I remember, just completely sort of off topic, but I remember for ODST, they wanted to do matchmaking for Firefight, right?
I think so. Oh yeah, yes, I remember, yeah.
And they wanted to, but they said it would take them like another 8 months to get that working. Jesus, so you can imagine similar sort of things for Rayman Legends with a smaller team and a smaller budget. You know, they just may not have been able to have time or money to make it work. But also, like it's a real bummer that I can't play with other people online. But at the same time, it's like it feels like it's made for local co-op. You know?
It is hilarious, yeah.
Because it's hilarious and you can grief the other player so much, and I worry that like if it was online, you know, the tiniest bit of lag would start to ruin the fluidity of it all. And
yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
And like I agree, it's a bummer that there's no online multiplayer, but I think it's not there for good reason, you know. But I could be wrong. It's definitely way more fun. If you can get someone else to play it with you, it's a lot of fun.
It's done with the local multiplayer is designed very well. It's very seamless. It's just drop in, drop out. So someone picks up a controller, presses one button, they're playing with you, and if they want to go make some dinner or something, they just press B and device. Alright, well, in conclusion, there's not really much you can say except it's a hilariously accurate and well-designed platformer that's amazing to play with friends. I think that's all you really need to say. Let's go for you, because you've hyped it, so has it affected your rating? What is your rating?
5 stars. Are you kidding me? It's so creative and so much fun. It's probably the best platformer I have played in years. Like in many, many years. I don't really remember the last great platformer I played, aside from Origins, of course, but it's fantastic. It's like gorgeous to look at. It's got incredible music. It plays so well. It's a ton of fun with other people. Yeah, I can't get enough of it. I'm so happy it's out, and I think everybody should go and buy it, for God's sake. Please.
Okay, so overall, I'm going to give it a really high 4 stars. Oh, why is that a thing now?
I don't know. You don't have to do it. You're the one that keeps doing it.
I don't know where it came from. Oh god. Okay. Yeah. As I said, it's a great platformer. I absolutely love it. Didn't quite make the masterpiece rank for me, but yeah, I had a great time, and everyone should play it.
It's a hell of a good platformer. There may not be as much in it if you've already played Origins. That's about it. You know. But if you haven't played Origins, holy shit, buy it.